I remember the first time I heard about Jason Brown, a man who had it all: fame, recognition, and a $37.5 million NFL contract. He was the center of attention, the hero on the field, a symbol of success for millions of Americans. But one day, he simply vanished from the spotlight. Nobody understood why. How could someone walk away from a fortune like that? Just like that. I'll admit, when I first heard his story, I doubted it. I thought it was just another sensational headline. But the deeper I looked, the more I realized there was something profound behind it. Jason Brown didn't run away from success. He redefined it. He left the luxury of the arenas to feel the smell of wet soil, the weight of the hoe, the silence of the countryside. He traded applause for sheep and stadium lights for sunrises. And the most surprising part, he knew nothing about farming. No experience, no plan. Only faith, courage, and one decision: to dedicate his life to something greater than himself. That's how one of the most inspiring stories of our time began. The story of a man who understood that true greatness isn't found in what you earn, but in what you give. And this is where the journey of Jason Brown begins, the athlete who walked away from millions to become a farmer. I'm still amazed when I think about the decision Jason Brown made. At the time, he was at the center of one of the biggest contracts in NFL history, a $37.5 million deal with the St. Louis Rams. Money enough to guarantee a lifetime of comfort, luxury, and status. But he looked at all of it and said no. Imagine the reaction around him. Friends, agents, even family members tried to stop him. "You're throwing away the American dream," they said. But Jason no longer saw meaning in that dream. The shine of success began to fade when he realized that inside, he felt empty. He earned millions but felt like he wasn't making any real difference in anyone's life. Then, something shifted within him. He began hearing an inner voice, a kind of calling. A purpose that went beyond football fields, interviews, and headlines. And when that voice became too strong to ignore, he made the decision that would shock the world: to walk away from everything and follow what he believed was his true path. Jason didn't run away from wealth. He simply realized that money couldn't buy what truly mattered: peace, purpose, and connection with something greater. And that's when his spiritual and human journey really began to take shape. When Jason Brown left professional football, he didn't have a detailed plan. There were no investors, no million-dollar strategy waiting for him. There was only a calling, a feeling that he needed to put his hands in the soil and learn to cultivate life in a new way. And that's exactly what he did. With the courage of someone willing to start from zero, Jason bought a farm in North Carolina, a piece of land called First Fruits Farm. The name, chosen by him and his wife, carried a deep meaning: to offer the first fruits of their labor to God and to those in need. But reality hit hard in the first few months. Jason didn't know how to drive a tractor. He had never planted a seed. He came from a world of rules and tactics, not seasons and harvests. He had to learn everything from how to work the soil to when to plant. With the help of local farmers and a lot of YouTube videos, he turned what seemed impossible into his life's mission. While other former athletes were investing in cars, restaurants, or luxury properties, Jason was investing in something people no longer valued: food. And over time, that field began to flourish. Not only in production, but in purpose. Every growing row of crops became a living reminder that he had chosen the hardest path, but also the truest one. It was when the first crops began to grow that Jason Brown truly understood why he had left everything behind. He hadn't been called just to plant, but to feed. From the very beginning, he decided that a large portion of his harvest would be donated to people struggling with hunger and hardship. And that became the heart of First Fruits Farm. The idea that the first and best of every harvest should go to those who need it most. In the first year, Jason donated over 100,000 pounds of sweet potatoes. The following year, more than 400,000 pounds of food. All of it given freely. And the most amazing thing is that as he helped others, his own life seemed to bloom alongside the land. The farm became a gathering place for volunteers, churches, and families who wanted to be part of the mission. Jason went from NFL star to symbol of generosity. He traded the roar of stadiums for the whisper of the wind through the cornfields, and competition for compassion. His farm became living proof that wealth can be turned into purpose, and purpose into nourishment. And maybe that's why so many call him the farmer of faith. Because in the end, what he plants isn't just food, it's hope. Not everything was easy. When Jason Brown chose to trade the millions of the NFL for a shovel, he also chose a path of sacrifice. In the first few years, the money ran out quickly. Bills piled up, the soil was tough, and every lesson came with costly mistakes. There were failed crops, harvests destroyed by storms, and moments when he doubted if he had made the right choice. But it was precisely in those hard days that Jason found the strength that would sustain him. He began to realize that the farm wasn't just a job. It was a school. Every seed that died taught him patience. Every bad season reminded him that the right time for things doesn't depend on man. And every person who received food from his hands reminded him that his purpose was greater than any struggle. Society looked at him with disbelief. How could anyone walk away from fame to live with their hands covered in dirt? But Jason knew he hadn't lost anything. On the contrary, he had gained everything that money could never buy: peace, purpose, and faith. Today, when he speaks about his journey, his voice carries the calmness of someone who understands that true wealth isn't measured in bank accounts, but in what you plant in the hearts of others. Today, Jason Brown lives surrounded by green fields, children running through the yard, and the sound of nature that replaced the roar of the crowds. He no longer wears an athlete's uniform, but he still carries the same warrior spirit, now fighting for a cause far greater than victories and trophies. His first fruits farm continues to produce tons of food each year, donated to shelters, churches, and families in need. But what's most remarkable isn't what he harvests from the soil. It's what he has harvested from his own soul. Jason discovered that true wealth isn't measured by the size of a bank account or the applause of a crowd, but by living a purpose that changes lives. He traded $1 million contract for an eternal mission. And in the end, he's the one who truly won the game of life. This is the story of a man who heard the call of the land and realized that success isn't about what you have. It's about what you give to the world. A story that makes us reflect on our own choices and what truly matters. If you believe stories like this deserve to be told, subscribe to Celebrities Farm. Every week, I bring you new stories about people who traded luxury for simplicity, fame for the land, and discovered that the real gold lies within the soul. And in the next video, I'll take you to another incredible story, a farm and a ranch full of secrets you would never imagine. Don't miss it.